Mark Consuelos has always been seen as television's golden man, the charming actor, the family man, the devoted husband to Kelly Ripa, and the steady presence in an entertainment world that often thrives on chaos. Together, Mark and Kelly built a reputation that many considered unshakable. She, the sharp, witty, and glamorous morning show queen, adored by millions for her humor and relatability. He, the smoldering heartthrob from All My Children, turned respected TV host and actor, who balanced her shine with his quiet strength. For over 2 decades, their marriage stood as an example in Hollywood. Rare, stable, enviable. They laughed together on talk shows, shared anecdotes of raising 3 children, and navigated careers that constantly kept them in the public eye. Fans admired their bond, believing it to be one of the few authentic love stories in entertainment. Reports are swirling that the FBI has become involved in Mark Consuelos' personal and financial life amid an explosive conflict at the heart of his marriage with Kelly Ripa. Certain accounts tied to Mark have allegedly been frozen, sparking a storm of speculation and sending shockwaves across the television industry and beyond. How did a couple once celebrated for their strength and unity find themselves in such a precarious situation? And what does this mean for the man who has built his reputation on integrity, loyalty, and love for his family? This is the story of Mark Consuelos and Kelly Ripa, a marriage under pressure, a life unraveling in the spotlight, and a legacy suddenly in question. To understand the weight of what is unfolding, we must first revisit who Mark and Kelly are, not just as individuals, but as partners. Their love story began in the 1990s, on the set of All My Children. Kelly, already a breakout star with her sharp humor and undeniable charm, met Mark, a young actor who radiated charisma and confidence. Sparks flew instantly, and before long, their romance became real both on and off the screen. In 1996, they eloped in Las Vegas, a whirlwind decision that surprised many but felt undeniably right to them. It was a love story made for the cameras, but carried out in real life with a sense of spontaneity and passion that few couples dared to embrace. Over the years, they raised 3 children, Michael, Lola, and Joaquin, while balancing careers that kept them constantly in motion. Kelly rose to morning television royalty, becoming the face of Live, while Mark took on acting projects, producing roles, and eventually co-hosting alongside his wife. To the outside world, they were the perfect pairing, glamorous yet grounded, famous yet family-oriented. They teased one another on air, spoke openly about their ups and downs, and presented themselves as deeply committed partners who had managed to survive and even thrive in an industry notorious for broken marriages. But even the strongest foundations can develop cracks when exposed to the unrelenting pressure of fame, money, and expectations. Behind the laughter and lighthearted banter, whispers began to surface. Insiders described growing tension between Mark and Kelly in recent years. Kelly's schedule, tightly packed with early mornings, live broadcasts, and the endless demands of daytime television, left little room for rest. Mark, while enjoying his own successes, sometimes felt overshadowed by his wife's towering presence in the media. Those close to the couple noticed subtle but telling changes: heated disagreements behind the scenes, frustrations about balancing careers with family responsibilities, arguments over financial decisions. At first, these whispers were dismissed as nothing more than the usual strains of a long marriage lived in the public eye. But soon the cracks became harder to ignore. When the FBI's involvement was suddenly reported, fans were left stunned. What could possibly connect this picture-perfect family to federal investigators? The very mention of the FBI raises questions that go far beyond celebrity gossip. Why would federal agents be interested in what should be a private marital dispute? According to sources close to the situation, the FBI became aware of irregular financial activities that allegedly came to light during private legal discussions involving Mark and Kelly. Certain accounts, tied to Mark, allegedly were frozen, sparking a storm of speculation and sending shockwaves across the television industry and beyond. For a man who has spent his life building a reputation of integrity and family devotion, the mere suggestion of financial impropriety is devastating. And the emotional toll? Even greater. Those who know Mark best describe him as someone who prides himself on being in control. He is the man who anchors his family,
the husband who supports his wife's career with unwavering loyalty, the father who quietly beams with pride over his children's accomplishments. But in recent weeks, sources claim that Mark has been struggling to hold it together. Behind closed doors, the stress of the FBI's involvement, the public scrutiny, and the strain on his marriage have reportedly left him overwhelmed. Friends say he has confided fears not just about his finances, but about his reputation, his career, and the legacy he will leave behind. For a man who has always defined himself by love, loyalty, and hard work, the possibility of losing everything, including the trust of the woman he has loved for nearly 3 decades, is heartbreaking. And then there is Kelly. The ever-composed, quick-witted morning star has said little publicly about the turmoil surrounding her family. On Live, she has kept her trademark smile, her stories, her laughter. But her silence beyond the set speaks volumes. Insiders describe Kelly as fiercely protective of her family, her career, and above all her children. She knows how quickly public perception can shift and how brutal the media can be when blood is in the water. Some speculate that her silence is not just about privacy, but strategy. With her deep understanding of the media and her extensive network of advisors, Kelly may be playing a long game, ensuring that her career and reputation remain untarnished while the storm around Mark plays out. For years, Mark and Kelly seemed untouchable. They weathered career shifts, parenthood, and the constant glare of fame with grace. But now they stand at a crossroads few could have imagined. Can their marriage survive the weight of federal investigations, financial questions, and growing emotional distance? Or has the very foundation of their love story, built on passion, trust, and partnership, begun to crack under the pressure of forces far larger than themselves? What happens next may determine not only the future of their marriage, but also how both Mark and Kelly are remembered. If the FBI clears Mark of wrongdoing, the couple may yet find a way to rebuild, stronger, wiser, and more united than ever. But even then, the scars of this ordeal will not easily fade. Trust once shaken is difficult to restore. If, however, wrongdoing is uncovered, the consequences could be catastrophic. Careers may falter, reputations may shatter, and a love story that once inspired millions could unravel completely. Mark Consuelos and Kelly Ripa have long been celebrated as proof that Hollywood marriages can last. But now, as they face perhaps the most daunting challenge of their lives, the world watches and waits. Will this be the beginning of a painful unraveling, or the ultimate test that proves their love is truly unbreakable? One thing is certain: this story is far from over. What do you think about Mark Consuelos' situation? Do you believe this is simply a misunderstanding, or is there more going on behind the scenes than anyone realizes? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss the latest updates. We'll be following this story closely and bringing you every new twist as it unfolds.